you do with that? I mean, that was just a few choice chord progressions thrown in together. And it could be anywhere. I could have started here at the 8th to the 3rd. So it's doing a lot with a very, very little. And by the way, you sounded great.
Thank you very much.
Now, what Nick was working on is pretty advanced, and it's doing scales. You have to know your A major scale and your blues scale, okay, which sound great, but it really takes a lot of practice. So you start out, and this show is really more for the beginner to intermediate, so we're starting out with the chords. And the guitar is really a chordal instrument first. It really is. It came into all this lead and everything with the rock era and so forth, and has carried on today. And some players have taken this to such a level playing leads. It's amazing. So anyway, I hope this had helped you with your chord vocabulary. Remember, one chord, the A minor. You can do this with any chord, actually. If you want to take a C chord and you move it up one fret at a time till it sounds great. Here, that sounds. Can be any chord, an F chord, whatever, and we chose the A minor today. Kevin Coyle, the industry's expert on guitars.
I wouldn't know about that, Bob, but thank you very much.
I think you are. Kevin, explain about this guitar. Tell me about this.
Sure. A lot of people have questions just about the nuts and bolts of what the guitar is made of. So starting from the top, which is always a good spot, this is the headstock of your guitar. This is what holds the tuners. It's a very important structural part of the guitar. It also, in theory, can change the tone. The length of it, the width of it, the angle back from the headstock, all things that are at this point academic, since we're just going over the parts, but it does have a very important function. This portion right here is called the nut. This can be made of different types of man-made materials, plastics, composites. Natural bone is very popular on higher-end guitars because of its density and its tone quality. But essentially, it governs the height of the strings from the fingerboard, especially at the first position. You know, a lot of beginners playing that first F chord, it'll drive them crazy if the nut slots aren't cut properly. Just makes everything seem harder.
Also, above that is this bell-shaped thing.
Well, on this particular guitar, it's covering the truss rod. Now, the truss rod is embedded into the neck, and what it does, it allows for the adjustment of something called relief. It's kind of a concave aspect to the fingerboard. If the neck is perfectly straight, you're going to buzz. You're going to get all kinds of rattles and buzzes. So you have to have a little bit of drop off between these frets on the guitar, and that's called relief. It's a playability issue, and it's also functional as keeping the neck as straight as possible without causing buzz. So it's an adjustment. It's not always made up here. Sometimes it's made at the bottom of the neck.
Okay. The guitars always have truss rods in them?
Not always. It is kind of a modern day thing. Some manufacturers didn't start applying truss rods until the 70s. Others adopted it in the 40s and 50s.